Hello everyone. I wanted to take a couple minutes to quickly walk you through some of the new deadlines that you'll see on the main page of the Canvas site, and then I want to quickly remind you about Project 2, so that second short paper, and then the third video that you'll take a look at for me is going to be talking about the final paper. But for right now, let's take a look at some of these new deadlines that we have. So this is going to be the same homepage as always, but now that our lives have changed a little bit, you'll see some of the deadlines. We're still fleshing out some of the ones for sign language, but we'll get those up to you over the weekend and they'll be as accurate as possible. Your study analysis, so the short paper number 2, is still due on the 30th. However, I'm going to be pretty flexible in terms of when it becomes late. So as long as you get it in by April 4th, I'm going to be happy. So don't feel like, oh no, the world is ending and Dr. C is going to be a hard ass about deadlines. I recognize we're all doing this in pretty tough circumstances, so don't worry about that. Just get it done as close to the 30th as possible. You'll notice down here I made a couple executive decisions. We're going to study the technology and language chapter, so texting, and then first language acquisition for the rest of the semester. So we have a number of assignments due. We have the readings that are due there. On the 1st, I'm going to basically have my computer with me all day. And this is going to be some extended office hours for you to talk to me about your final project and your proposal. So we'll talk about that in the next video. So let's take a look at the actual second paper. So let's go back up here to where it says modules. And modules are going to be the main organizational principle for this course from here on out. So let's go down to where it says second short paper. So the primary difference between this paper and the first short paper is the kind of study that you're looking at. In the first short paper, you were looking at popular sources. So things that were written for an audience that doesn't have much of a background in linguistics, and there may be a number of things that they were kind of getting wrong about the field. For this project, you're looking at a scholarly article. So we're not going to expect people to misunderstand whether or not deaf culture is a real thing, for instance. So you have already chosen your scholarly articles, but I want to kind of walk through the next 3 bullet points here. So you're writing about 4 pages. Obviously, number 1, demonstrate you understand the argument that the author was making. So every scholarly paper should contain an argument. It's not going to be just a summary of facts, but it's going to be something that pushes you to a particular interpretation. We need to know what that interpretation is. So what is the argument that they're making? The second thing is that you understand experimental design from a linguistic standpoint. So what that means is that you understand what they were testing and why they tested it in the way that they did. That's our goal here. So, what did they want to find out? Why did they test it in the way that they did? And when you're talking about this, I want you to focus on linguistic issues and give the author constructive suggestions possibly to improve the current experiment and to move beyond the work already done in the study. So if you had sat down to have a chat with this author, what would you talk about? Where does this study go from here? If they were going to do it again, are there things that they could change or improve? So a lot of this is very similar to that first paper, but again, it's a matter of what kind of resource you're working with. Are you talking about a scholarly paper where it's written by experts for experts? Or are you talking about something more popular like you were in the first short paper? So, these are things I'm going to be looking for when I grade. Now, if you have any questions about this assignment or any of the others, please, please, please send Austin or me an email. I really want you to know that I am as available for you as I was before these circumstances arose. I'm going to be on the computer pretty much Monday through Friday from 10-ish until 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So anytime you send an email, I'm going to get to it pretty quickly. So if you think of any questions, feel free to send me an email. Otherwise, I look forward to reading your second short papers.